Let's go. We got Sarge right back in the house. He was just on with Doug. Hype. I love it. And they're still wrapping up. So fun. Okay. So big AMA today. Here's what I just got to ask everybody. Did I hear it right? Did he say 19,000 new wallets within the last 7 days or 24 hours? And then 90,000 new wallets within the last 30 days?
It's ridiculous on DApp Radar. You know, I'll pull it up right now.
Do it
and get the most updated because they've been booming.
Oh my gosh! So, and the game's been pumping. That's a little bit now, and he said it was an increase of 400%.
Volume, and this is over a period of time. It doesn't say when. Is up 83.55%. It's showing a 7-day chart, so I'm assuming there, yeah, because June 14th to June 20th, you can see a nice little pickup. But yeah, if you all are not familiar with DApp Radar, I definitely recommend you check it out. DappRadar.com. And let me pull up the games page.
Okay, DappRadar.com.
Yep.
Well, and I was gonna real quick. I was coming to Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. I want to check on.
Actually,
so the prices of everything pumping, right?
I mean, people are getting excited. They're hearing about it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay. Yeah. So Jade's up now. Crystal yesterday was up over 2 cents, and that's come down, but that's to be expected for me, big time.
Right.
So Jewel got down as low as 10 cents, or even below 10 cents, right? Didn't it get below 10 cents? Now it's at 12.5 cents. Now,
I think it bounced right around 10. Yeah.
Okay. Now, of course, Bitcoin's pumping and everything's pumping. So that's part of it. Okay. So if do we really have that many new wallets in the ecosystem?
I mean, they're doing on-chain analysis. So I would say yes.
Really?
They're reporting it.
So
a bunch of people up, I mean, even or maybe it's a few whales buying in deep and spreading it out for farming purposes. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a lot of what it is, I'm guessing. But 90,000?
And now, I'd be curious. That might be like since the beginning of the year. I'm not sure.
He said either 30 days or 90 days.
I'm actually jumping into. Whoops, let me turn that volume down. Okay. Jumping into the live stream, and I'm going to because I think I can post links.
Gold down.
There we go. I just posted a link. If people can see that, to DApp Radar, the games category, you can actually manipulate it on those 3 different stats and see how well DeFi Kingdoms is doing right now and see the stats for yourselves, play with them. Do your own research. Always do your own research and look into it. But yeah, it's showing a pickup, and I don't know. It's looking like it's going to be a good summer, brother. I mean, heck, with everything going on with Bitcoin right there, if you look at it, definitely not financial advice. I am not somebody who does TA. Do your own research. But even I saw a cup and handle being formed by Bitcoin on the weekly. That's huge with everything going on with regulation, all of the freaking big banks who are basically at this point FOMOing in and submitting for ETFs. Because I mean, Congress is kind of beating down Gary Gensler a little bit, and it's just an opening as people are seeing, I think. So I'm seeing a happy 2023 leading up to having, and it's going to set us up for some really crazy fun times in the future, I think.
Right. So, like, do we really have that many new wallets? I did a double, triple take on that part.
Oh, so again, what's the category? I mean, I'm sure he didn't lie. It's just if you're trying to say it's unbelievable, it's just a question of where did the stat come from? I don't know. I'd have to look for it. Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, man. So
are you sure that it was exactly that?
And then he said it was like a 400% increase. I don't think he meant a total number of active wallets. But maybe that's what he meant. Or maybe it's a 400% increase of like compared to over the last 90 days, like previously or something.
Maybe.
Okay, but so we definitely have stuff pumping. Like gold has 3x from its bottom, like a few weeks ago.
Okay, so we're up to, yeah, it's showing it right here over 30 days. The active, maybe it's UAW. Maybe let's say it's their unique active wallets. It is currently at 95,000, and that is up 450% in the last 30 days.
In the last 30 days.
In the last 30 days. So that is on-chain data, irrefutable. Now, how they were created, that's up to you and me. Like, I don't know.
So
I can't tell you how many of them were people spinning up 10 bots and doing 10 accounts, or how many of them were individual users, how active they are in Discord.
Right.
Man, those are different metrics.
There's definitely going to be whales that are just spreading out their heroes potentially, but 400% in the last 30 days. So does that mean like 30 days ago there was only 25,000 or 23,000 active wallets, and now there's 90,000?
I mean,
that would be nuts. That'd
be pretty dope.
Okay. So anyways, good things going on with DeFi Kingdoms. I had a good chat with Dreamer. He's going to be coming on maybe multiple times over the next, couple months.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Maybe 3 months. It may be about a month or so before he comes on. And then he said he wants to come on maybe for a few weeks in a row. And so you can put 2 and 2 together there. We'll explain later.
Awesome.
Okay. So good things going on.
Heck yeah.
Good things going on.
Side real quick. 12 seconds. The chat is bringing up that a lot of people are farming for airdrops. So I'm sure that's part of it. That's just real, but keep going. Just want to acknowledge that.
How would having multiple wallets help that anyways?
If people are farming for wallets or for an airdrop, they know that the snapshot is happening on a certain date, and it has all pets who have, or all addresses that have a pet and a hero and meet certain circumstances. It's possible that people could meet those circumstances still, so they spin up a bunch of wallets trying to get free stuff. I don't know. I mean, don't ape into broken mechanics, they always say. I'm sure that we're not the only ones seeing it. The team is as well. So I could see them being like, you know what, we saw you farmers, screw off bot heads, you're not getting it. You know what I mean? So be careful. Don't just think it's a good idea because it looks like somebody's going to make out.
Right. I thought this one specifically it wasn't like only one winner per wallet type thing.
I didn't actually look into it. I don't usually I've got enough going on with DFK. Like, I'm not trying to get the freebie stuff, so I don't pay enough attention to those. You know what I mean? Just the way I'm playing, I'm more sitting back. I mean, I've got the basket stuff from my initial liquidity position, but other than that, it's like I'm kind of chilling, letting it grow, letting it go. Working with the community, doing the weekly crystal Kraken thing.
Yeah,
I'd love to talk about that for a second, if you don't mind.
Okay. Let's go.
So for those of you that don't know, every week I take 12 of my heroes and drop them into Summon for the community. And it's a fun little thing. People they send over 50 crystal to basically cover the costs of the summoning. And they pick a slot, 1 out of 18 slots. And I don't know, it's just a fun way to maybe get your first hero or get involved, see what we're all about. This week, we found somebody new who came in there, and it sounds like they might even be like the child of somebody in the community, and they've got a few dollars worth in, or just kind of checking it out and found the Mythic Squad and jumped in there. And that's the kind of guild or community that I do this in every week. We have a little channel there, and I drop the spreadsheet, and people send the 50 crystal to the address and pick a slot. And it's 1 in 3 chances of winning. And they could win like a mythic 10 of 10, or I'm sorry, Gen 1 with 10 of 10 summons that's worth like several thousand crystal. Like, that has happened. We've dropped some legendaries, a bunch of rares, some uncommons. And there's a bunch of mutations also, which for those that are aware of like the mutations on the back, the green and the blue and all that fun jazz, like sometimes you can get some level 1 mutations out of them, to include a an advanced class because we have it paired up with like Archer and Thief. So you have the Dark Knight possible, right? And I've got a whole spreadsheet. Can you pull up Mythic Squad by chance and show it?
Yeah, their Discord.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, right here.
And you go to the Crystal Kraken.
Yeah, baby.
Scroll all the way to the bottom.
Okay.
And that's this
Up
spreadsheet.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Click on that spreadsheet.
Okay.
And basically, it's 6 different summons, each with different percentages. And I give this percentages on the left-hand side there of what you might get. And then the greens are all possible mutations. And we can't keep track of it in the spreadsheet. You just basically say, I want this summon in slot. So like, for example, summon 1 wizard is still available. So you say, I want summon 1 wizard, and you drop your address that you're sending your 50 crystal from. Once I see that, I update the spreadsheet and put it back in there. And every Friday at 8:30 Central Time or Grady time, 6:30 PST, we jump on into Mythic Squad's Discord. Their Mythic Mayhem channel is where we go, and I share my screen, go through and we crack them. And any of the like oddballs that pop up, because it is possible that on summon 1 you like randomly get a thief, right? So you get that one. Well, what we do is at the end of it, any oddballs we have like that, we do a wheel of names for every slot that jumped in that didn't win. We put them on the wheel of names and just give it away that way. So it's 1 in 6. And sometimes we'll buy a few floor heroes and give them away and just do giveaways for fun.
Right.
It's a way to kind of get the community involved and have a little fun. That way you might get that awesome several hundred jewel worth hero that you couldn't otherwise get. And you managed to get it this way. And it's all going back into the community. This is a whole separate address where everything is staying there, and will be like, I'm sure there's people doing giveaways. There's actually a bunch of them doing in the next coming weeks. So the plan is to buy some heroes and send them over to those giveaways to support all of that. And you notice what is that little purple dot there? That's actually that new user I was talking about. They didn't have the 50 crystal, but they just found Mythic Squad and DFK. It sounds like there's someone in the community's child. And if so, I'm sorry for assuming that, just kind of the way they mentioned that they only had a few dollars. They couldn't do the 50 crystal and like they needed permission. That kind of made me think of my kids. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we gave them a slot and kind of gave them the intro. I would love to actually have them on next week or the week after, because what I'm doing is I'm going to give them a slot in the next 3 weeks or until they win. Maybe even if they win. But just kind of give them a slot and hopefully that they win a hero out of it. And during those next couple of weeks, kind of answer their questions in Mythic Squad and have Mythic Squad help them out and teach them the game a little bit better. And then after that, maybe we do somebody else. But I'd love to actually have them on one week if you're down with it, like during this stream, or maybe we do another stream for it.
Heck
just
yeah.
do like a general AMA. I think that'd be dope.
Right. Let's go. All right. This is cool.
Right. So for in case any of you are not already in Mythic Squad, I'm actually going to share a link to their Discord.
You want to send it to me? You want to send it to me because it won't let you share a link, Ogre. So
did it not share the previous one?
Nope, didn't send.
Oh, I thought I was my bad.
I know. That's okay. I'll go ahead and share the Mythic Squad link right now.
Nice.
In the chat.
Hell yeah.
And it's in the description, buried down there somewhere.
But yeah, that's where we hang out and we do that. All are welcome. Come hang out, participate if you want to, or just ask questions and learn more about the game. Like that's what this ecosystem is all about. And we're not the only guild that's like that. There's several other ones out there with kind of a different approach at it. Some are more focused around tools to help you like excel in the PvP and get the best heroes, and some are like Unity. I think they're still out there just helping people learn and all about the educational side of it. So be sure to check them out. And even if you jump into DFK's server, you can get the links to them there. Honk is another one. Those deep, baby.
Yeah, right. We got Diamond Hands in the house. So there's
airdrop. What up, DH?
The airdrop is based off how many pets you owned in DeFi Kingdoms.
Yep.
And I forgot the details though. Okay.
I don't know all the details, like I said, because I don't usually
Yeah.
dig into it, but it was something about like owning pet and associated hero. They might need to be associated. Like you might have had to have assigned that pet to a hero for it to work. I'm not
I think
sure
it was
about
just
the
number
specs,
of
but
pets.
they have.
Number of pets sitting in a wallet. I
It
think.
could be.
Yeah.
I mean, DFK is great about that. You look at their announcements channels, I guarantee it's going to be right in there somewhere.
Yeah. And so I'm going to be going live again, probably right after this with, I think Diamond Hand said he wants to jump on, and Franz, who's in the house. And we're going to go over some Dragons Crossing. That's what we were just doing with Doug. Hype, he had Crypto Stash,
Hell yeah.
on there. So that was fun. Anyways, okay. So back to the AMA. What other notes do you have there? It's bullish. Tons of things going. Awesome talks with Dreamer. Lots of stuff in the works. Wish I could share it with you. More to come. Coming soon. Yeah. Like within the next month or two, baby. We're going to be, yes. Okay.
I think we're going to see some cool stuff. I mean, they kind of had a little bit of the coolness there. They were putting the brakes on, but that's expectation management. I think they did mention that they had like an MVP around, and they've had that around for like internal testing and playing. So something exists. It may be only for a limited set of heroes while they work on the engine in the background. I don't know, but they've done something already that's like playable to a degree. But it started out with Dreamer talking about like just being out there in the community and the events and how awesome that was to meet the community and make those connections with potential other communities, cross-pollinating and doing all of that, that he was seeing a lot of value coming out of that, especially on the community side, all the love that the community showed and coming and showing up to the booths. Like that's huge. People don't even realize how big it is. Even if you're just going by yourself, to show up wearing a bullish hat or a DFK shirt and just come stand by the booth and hang out and talk for an hour, like that creates an energy that other people are like, oh, well, there's a bunch of people over there talking. I want to see what that's about. And they just walk over and start learning. So he was kind of recognizing all of that. And that was a big opening. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Covered that. The Bazaar was kind of the next thing they talked about, which is going to be one of the major next technical advances they do, which in my mind, like I know it's going to be another first in their mind. Speaking of which, just, you know what, let me stop for just 1 second and pull something up, because I asked somebody for a list, and it was a short list of firsts that the team had done from somebody who's keeping better track than I. And here's a short list. The first subnet on AVAX, right? They were the first ones to do that. The first on-chain NFT level ups. Like, so those dynamic NFTs, not just a standard 721, but one that you could modify and advance with new stats, not only new stats, but ones that are randomly assigned during the course of level up. First ERC 20s to enhance NFTs, right? They're talking about the standard there. We know it wasn't on Ethereum. Kind of the same thing there, being able to dynamically enhance them. First group NFT bridge. So the first ones to be able to multi-bridge more than one NFT at a time that are connected to each other. They're bonded on chain, essentially. Not literally, but they're connected together and move as one. The first 721 to 721 equipping, to where you've got two 721s, like a piece of armor and a hero, and you strap that on, or a pet and a hero, and you strap that on, permanently bonding them together so that you can do that bridging.
Right.
First cross-chain gaming API. Like, seriously, what other games do you know of that you can just load up the game and there's two different UIs, two completely different UIs with different assets you can learn in each, different heroes, different aspects, and different reasons why you might want to be on one or the other at certain times, to include arbitrage possibilities. And all it takes is going up to your wallet and changing the network you're on, and boom, the game loads right back up. You click right in. Mm-hmm. Right. What other games are doing that right now? That's kind of huge. First flag storage bridging. All right. Now that's a little more technical. That's on the back end of like the data package that is your NFT, saying that they've got certain data flags and tags in there, and that's what they're using for it, to translate one NFT over to a new network and recreate that NFT in a unique way that ensures that you are still the only owner of that NFT possible, and it's kind of frozen on the other side. Also, first conversion from Open Zeppelin upgradable contracts to Diamond Standard, which is huge. For those that don't know what I just said, OpenZeppelin is a coding library. It has lots of codes and commands that people use to put together bigger games and bigger projects, bigger software packages. It's kind of a library. It's like it's almost like a language, a set of coding pre-packaged commands you can utilize built into that. So that's pretty huge, a lot bigger than it sounds, because those new diamond standards are kind of the industry standard. And a lot of people haven't gotten there yet, but getting there gives you an advantage. It helps lower gas. It's where people are working to continue to lower gas and make everything more efficient. So lots of good stuff there.
Yeah. So this was all in a tweet, right? Everything you're saying right now?
No, that short list is a message that I got from somebody.
Oh, okay.
That's alpha. That is alpha. Like, that is just something that has happened. I have never seen that put together anywhere before.
Okay.
It may have gone out in a tweet, but I have not ever seen that. That is a private list I got in an answer from a question, because I knew that DFK had been doing a lot of firsts. It just goes back to the amazing team they have, right?
It's like,
and the confidence in them, in that, like, not only are they creating a dope game and very complex system for PvP and PvE that's going to help build the whole ecosystem, but like, they've got my trust. You know what I mean? Like, they keep innovating. They're not just copy pastaing. Other people are copy pastaing them. But at the same time, they're also recognizing game, right? Game recognizes game. So they've seen a few things that work really well, like AMM for Uniswap V2, tried and tested. They know it works. That's what they built the game around, as a way to fair launch the Jewel. So freaking dopeness. I'm sorry. Back to the notes, as I just want to just share that list of firsts, because it was amazing when I read it the first time, and I know that everybody else would enjoy it. So Bolin, moving on. The bazaars. The bazaars are designed to connect different networks and make it even more of a cross-network UI. Like I said before, all you have to do is change your network, and all of a sudden you change your network in MetaMask, and all of a sudden you're jumping between either Klaytn or DeFi Kingdoms right now. They also kind of have like graphics that pop up if you show up on a couple other chains. But in what it's sounding like, essentially, is they're creating a DEX outpost almost. And it's just a small bit of code that's going to be easy to repeat on different chains. And whatever network you're logged into is what your wallet's going to connect to. And it'll be super easy to buy something there on the native chain, say Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, Vendora, wherever, and then just instantly bridge it onto DFKChain or Klaytn chain or wherever else they have an instance that is going. You can pick your chain, and if you notice, the different chains kind of have different offerings for some of the secondary tokens they but they have on for offer inside of the DEX. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can play. Like, I love the way they've gamified everything. So yeah, DFK.
Right, maybe.
But those bazaars should be very interesting, and they're talking about how they're going to be great for onboarding people. Bolin jumped on, reiterated the DApp radar stats, how amazing they were. Beetle Dude was mumbling, no idea what he said. He said something about updates. I don't know.
It was so funny, because I always think, like, Beetle Dude, what is your deal? And he actually said it in the AMA. This is what I do. I mumble.
Right.
Cracking me up.
It's become a weekly skit now. It was funny. He did come back on later. I'll get to that. He had a better mic and we could hear him clearly. But then Hubert jumped on. No major updates. But everything is kind of coming out soon. Check out the latest podcast, including Wowie. Definitely need to take a look at that one, and their whole channel on YouTube. Like, that's one of the big things that keeps coming up, is the amazing community, right? The ecosystem of different tools that are out there, and guilds that are out there, and YouTubers that are out there that are just putting out amazing content. They're more than any of that, right? They're the DeFi Kingdoms community. There's very few communities in crypto right now that are that amazing in my mind. But yeah. So the hero campaign prizes have all been sent at this point. So if you were due one and you don't see it, make sure you raise a ticket, let them know. As far as Hubert, it was no major updates. He's stressed. He kind of put the cool brakes on and did a little expectation management, and saying, like, they're building a lot of the core engine stuff, a lot of the foundation stuff to upgrade the MVP into something truly awesome. And they don't want to release it too soon and disappoint people, because they know at this point there's a lot of buildup. So I'm sure there's some fear on the other side as well. Like they don't want to let us down and drop something and us be like, what? Really? Like we got to recognize that on their side, that they want to make sure it's awesome and it's cool. And they drop it when it's ready at the right time. So I don't know. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be awesome. Is it going to be everything all of us are dreaming of? No, of course not, because we're probably going to force them to drop it before they're ready. Just knowing us, right? But I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be dope. And just long term, all the first they've done, and not even that, but the way they've handled issues that have come up, right? They've been around for a year and a half now. So they've been through some of the worst of the bear market. They came out right before the top, and they've persevered. And not only that, but issues have come up, as they always do. People FUD, people get angry, people find minute details and start spreading lies, whatever. They've handled it all. And all of the technical updates, anytime there was an issue that popped up, like technical wise, they were always on it. Like, I don't know, just like super confident in the Defi Kingdoms team, right? Well,
yes. Yeah, man. Wow. So, okay. Good stuff. Yeah. Super,
there's more.
I do think like the 10th page is important to him. I actually believe that it's important to him. He just, I think he's just so stressed out trying to get the rest of the game out. It's just like the last thing on his mind. And but it will come. They still have plans for it. He's just like, everything has to go in his mind in a succinct order.
Yep, definitely.
And so the team is like slow to make sure, before they move on to the next step, that they don't miss something really important. Like when they're updating their contracts and doing all this and that, they didn't want to put the game out, for example, and then have to like redo the game.
Exactly.
Just like, and so everything has to go in.
I agree with you 100%. He made the comment that basically, and I'm summarizing here, but it's going to happen slowly at first, but then much faster and all at once, right? Because there's a lot of foundational things that need to work, because they're not just doing a small drop of PvP. The stuff they're working on for the graphics part is, I'm not going to say done, but a lot of that is already there. They're moving on to the next classes to a degree. I don't know if you caught that. But it's more the underlying mechanism, making sure that after move A happens, move B or effect B triggers properly, and there aren't faults and issues there, because that underlying engine that they're building is integral to not only PvP but also PvE, and both will soon, I think they'll drop in quick succession after they get that engine finalized. And I think they're working through those bugs, because it's not a simple game. It's very complex. There's a lot of different moving parts that happen on just a single battle, right? I mean, you think of how many turns it might go, how many different effects might trigger, how many different attacks might be selected. That's a lot of rooms for bugs to happen in between modules that are being called to move your arm this way and swing that way, right? And they've got to work through all that. So it just takes time, and we got to give them time and the ability to have feedback. And I'm sure at some point, what I'm hoping to see anyways is kind of like a closed beta and then an open beta, to where they allow some of the active community members, especially people like Wowie, and to a degree, I think it might already be happening. They're just probably under NDAs where they can't talk about it. But some private teams opening up to more and more opening. And you know what? Maybe that's it. Maybe to qualify for that beta, you have to be active in duels and rank in like the top 10 next season or something like that. Like that would be cool. And it leads back to what I say. Broderman says, the more active you are in the game, the more different aspects of it you're involved in, the more likely you are to win. Down to the weekly giveaway Tuesdays. If you go into DFK, if you didn't know this, you go into DFK's Discord every Tuesday. Sometimes they forget it's Wednesday, but they always put out just like a Tilt Proof Tuesday, where you just have to go into a certain channel and react with a certain emoji in your enter, and you could win some free DFK stuff. It's like a stone to make it so that as you level up your hero, it's a little bit better. Like, they're all about giving stuff away. It's a very, very loving community. I mean, just to put it bluntly and to say it simply, the community is full of love and looks out for each other. There's of course, there's some trolls and there's some angry people. The the bear markets have their effects on people, of course, but overall, it's a very supportive, amazing community. So I love DeFi Kingdoms.
I do too, man.
All right.
I love the team. So Wowie, you just mentioned Wowie. He'd be the perfect guy for that beta guy, and Matty Pesk and Guy Kid and Franz. They're all gamers. They get it on a deeper level. That's why I love watching Boxside chats.
Oh yeah, definitely a great one.
Right? Yeah, and so, but
you got to share a link to them in there too.
I know. So because Hubert and Workhorse, that's where I was going. Workhorse is just so amazing. He's one of my favorite human beings on planet Earth.
Yeah,
he was
a great dude. Like he's going all in on this too. I love it. I can't wait to see everybody. You've been to his location. Like I can't wait for like this to all to really start dropping and hit that crescendo, because there's going to be a massive party up there in Wisdom Labs at that bar, and people are just going to be gaming, and it's going to be so much fun. Like, I see the community showing out, bro. That's going to be epic.
I can't wait until all this comes out. So
we
got PvE coming out soon too. So that's so interesting. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, all right. What else from the AMA?
Let's see here. They asked a few, then they kind of went into questions and answers. That was the updates. When are more classes? Beetlejuice jumped back on, not mumbling this time. He said that basically he kind of answered with a broad brush, saying that they've kind of evolved into multiple teams right now. You have a kind of a development team, a maintenance team / improvement team working on the existing content, while another team is working on kind of the next classes. I would assuming art wise as well as design wise, how they're going to get all their abilities, what their benefit versus drawbacks are going to be, so that it balances out in the greater game, as well as what they'll summon into, all that fun jazz, because they got to write out all those contracts. But so they have one team working on that, one working on just kind of making what is already there even better while we wait. And that was a big part of it. And then let's see, what was the other one? There was some questions. More pets mean more XP. When next rune? Because some people are apparently getting close to level 30 and they want to know when they're going to be able to upgrade. So they're not really focused on the runes right now. That's kind of a higher tier issue than they're thinking about. As I said before, the more aspects of the game you play, the more you benefit. They're talking about having that be involved in PvE or PvP, to where you don't earn it the traditional way. You're not just going to mine for it. You're going to do some sort of PvE and maybe actually have to take your hero on a mini game that lasts for 15 minutes or something like that. Or you check in on once a day for 4 days. And that's how you play that game and earn those. Again, the innovation, man. I love the way they changed it up and keep it interesting.
But he did say once it goes live, like combat comes out, that's when he plans on opening that up to level 30.
Right.
You catch that in there?
Yep. It's directly related. I caught that.
Yeah, baby.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Okay.
Right.
I mean, it was kind of a shorter AMA. It was only it was very short, like 35 minutes of them.
No, I thought it was the normal time, around like 45-ish.
If you count that beginning part with all the videos, it was
cool.
It was like 35 minutes, I think, counting that.
Yeah, our team,
like 5 minutes. Yeah,
our team needs to change that up. I think it's an awesome intro. But chop it up, make a remix of it or something like that. Dragon T, where are you? We need you. Chop that up and give us a new intro. Update it, showing everything at 3XP and all the recent stuff. Also, let's see some newer community stuff. That'd be dope.
Oh man, 3XP was awesome. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So they're working on the combat and testing. It's a mechanism to earn the next level of stones. I just said. Yeah. We just said focus on building the engine, then expanding. So again, back to that, building out that foundation, making sure that when your knight swings their sword this way with that certain spell or ability they just used, that triggers all of the right follow-on events, which might be 5, 10, 15 with a squad of 3 and buffs and weapons and all this armor and other stuff. Like, there's a lot of working parts in there. So they're building out the foundation, making sure it works. But And so it's going to come slowly at first, but then all of a sudden, right? Because once that engine's built out, then it's just graphics, right?
Yeah.
It's the UI. That foundation takes the longest.
Yeah,
so keep that in mind. Another thing that came up is the in-game chat. And in particular, it came up via kind of a request of a better way to be able to find people and heroes that match your heroes so you can summon for good mutations. And I personally would love to see like kind of a closed option to where you have like maybe half a dozen different things you can say, enough to be able to barter with, and then possibly leave the platform and go to like Discord or Twitter or Telegram to talk to that person more directly outside of DeFi Kingdoms. The reason I say that is once you open an in-game chat that's open and people can type anything, you have to then moderate that and be careful because you're going to have children in there. You're going to have people that need to be protected, which means you have to monitor that, and then potentially governments and regulations and like, bro, Pandora's box we don't want to open.
Right.
But I would love the ability to be able to like search the entire hero database cross-chain and search it with like 15 different parameters. Like I want it to have A1 in freaking slot active 1 and active 2, and then I want B7 in passive 1 and 2, you know what I mean? And I want it to be a summoner, and I want it to be mythic, and I want it to be Gen 1 with 5 summons. Like I want to be able to search the entire database for that, and if I find 3 of them, I want to hit a button and be able to send the owner of that a message through DeFi Kingdom saying, hey, I like your hero. Would you be interested in selling it? And they can either click yes or no. And if it clicks yes, then it opens up like 10 more things like I will sell it for, and you can enter an amount of crystal or jade or USDC or BTC or whatever on DFKChain or whatever's available on that chain. And just respond with a few limited set of options at first. And the ability to say, but I even potentially add more heroes. Be like, well, I tell you what, I'll give you that hero if you give me these 2 heroes, not just the one you offered, or I'll give you this one and I'll add these 2 to it. Now I want that Gen 0 or something like that. You know what I mean? Be able to really wheel and deal with just few limited options though. So it's harder to hack that way, right? Because you have input verification. And it also reduces liability on the company, right? Because it is decentralized, but DeFi Kingdom still is a company. And the whole world, with all of the people jumping into the banks and doing these ETFs, that regulation has already started globally, and it's coming to the US. So we want them to be right, so that way we could be right in the future, right? Like it's an amazing game, an amazing community, an amazing ecosystem. And there's no doubt that regulation is going to touch us, and we're going to have to figure out how to morph what is going on into what will need to be. And I fully believe the team is in the right place to do it. I mean, heck, freaking Dreamer comes from that world. So he knows exactly what he's doing there.
I love it, dude. Man, you're in the zone today, man. I'll tell you what. I love it. So
I like this format because, I mean, I can go through, watch the AMA and kind of take the notes and the prep for it. It really works out well. It allows us. We need you to react a little bit more. I'm kind of stomping on you. I feel like it gets one-sided today.
I know it is. I was trying to like do duels while you were talking, and I'm like so in the zone.
I've been noticing it.
Steam, and it's taken me too long. Anyways,
I'm loving it though. So here's a question for you on the duels. That's one of what? How many different PvP options we have right now?
Right.
Like we've got duels. I know we've got there's a Discord community that has a PvP option within Discord using your heroes, isn't there?
Well, there was Fight Club, but you know what? He made a mistake. Konex made a mistake, and it went down.
Oh no! Boo!
And he wrecked his whole thing that he's created for like 2 years, and that was pretty devastating, I think. But he's already on to something else, and I think it's still DFK related, maybe. Nice. If anybody knows that, I'd love to know.
We've got an awesome ecosystem of devs, and I love that. I mean, between all the tools that are out there and the guilds that are built around tools, it's only going to get better as PvP comes up. We're going to see like true guilds. I think it's an amazing future. I'm very excited.
I love it, man. So, third-party devs, rocking it. Christian Peter, chatted with him. We missed it this week. We didn't go. But he's got a lot of good things he's working on. I mean, the sentiment is starting to come back up. So
it is the whole market.
At least expected it a little bit. You know, it's like doom and gloom just like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And now it's interesting.
It is. It's hilarious. I mean, it really is funny how quickly sentiment changes. I just realized that I'm looking at the other screen the whole time. Why didn't you say something, man? I'm like looking off into the distance.
We're so freaking emotional human beings.
Right.
And especially if you've lost a lot of money, which a lot of people in DFK have, they finally just throw in the towel.
I could check that box.
Oh, man. So it's like, it's brutal sometimes, but I'm saying,
beautiful, right? I mean, because it's so low at the market bounce. I mean, people I think are finally seeing the market's in. Again, I am not a no TA guy, but even I can see a cup and handle. And if you look really closely, I'm pretty sure there was an inverted head and shoulders there as well. Ooh. But Bitcoin is looking solid, both on the charts as well as in the news. The moves that people are making, and I forget who it was. I can't take credit for it, but somebody online in one of the shows I was watching was mentioning that as these regulations are starting to come in and all these ETFs are firing away, a lot of they call them like private family companies. And they might not be an actual family, but it might be like the big families like Rothschilds, like Trumps and stuff like that. But it also might be like the investment groups with like 50 people from a general area that have just their families have known each other and they've gone in together over time. They have a lot of flexibility and can do things a lot of like the major structured ETFs and stuff like that can't. And a lot of them are starting to pour in, and that's where we're seeing a lot of this bump is the early movers from that sector. And I think that just trickles down. It's not the time to be jumping positions right now in my mind, because that rising ship is going to raise all boats, because once they get into there, that's just the next step further, right? To start jumping into the projects and go, okay, well, what's popping? Well, this game's been around for 2 years. They've got PvP and PvE. It's about to roll into Christmas time, and you can get your kids like this dope 3-pack of heroes that will actually help them do pretty well in PvP in this game, and they can start learning about cryptocurrency and digital ownership and personal freaking self-sovereignty in the crypto world by playing video games and earning money. Like it can roll into so much so quickly, especially with the timing of it.
Yeah. So much nonsense. I think it's very manipulated, very intentional. The stuff that goes on out there with the news, the markets. And it's so obvious, like with Gary Gensler, it's so obvious. I mean, he's just overtly being an idiot. And so it's so obvious that there's like an agenda at play.
Yes, it is. You got a duel now, don't you?
Huh?
You got a duel. Didn't you just match up?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been doing this the whole time you've been chatting.
Heck yeah. That's funny as
You put me in a state of trance. Your voice does that. Like, Ogre's voice. I probably could have taken a nap. It's like that soothing, deep voice, baby.
Appreciate it, man. That's fucking awesome. I'm glad I have that effect.
I was like in a trance in the zone when you were talking the whole time.
That's some good communication right there.
Yeah, baby. Okay. So lots of good things with DeFi Kingdoms. Up and coming. I think it's a very positive summer. So many good things. Hang in there, boys and girls. I'm pumped for what's to come.
Yep. Two more mindset things. Focused on being chain agnostic, right? They're trying to spread those bazaars so that they can link to all of these other chains.
That's right.
Make it as simple as possible for anybody to come from any chain straight into DFKChain or Klaytn or anywhere else they have an instance, because they were talking about the next chain a little bit today.
Yeah,
they didn't say a whole lot about it, but they were talking about it. And if they're building in PvE and PvP, why would they not build in the next couple sets of classes? So they're already going to have that figured out. Then it's just finding them a home. It's possible we could see that like next year, two new chains in rapid succession, or maybe late this year, the first one, and one next year. Who knows? That would be dope.
Yeah.
But that
So
is
what?
pure speculation.
Somebody talked about the Binance Smart Chain. Like, was there some big news? I haven't heard anything on the Binance Smart Chain. What's going on?
I heard some mumblings of it, but I didn't go back and
Was
re-listen
there
to that
some
part.
big
I should.
update to make it
was
better
brought
and
up, but I
cheaper?
don't know what was said. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. I'm assuming I've been wondering when CZ was going to come out with some big monster update on the Binance Smart Chain to make it the best of the best of the best. So anyway, somebody said that. Somebody said that in the AMA. That's where the question was about Binance Smart Chain.
Could you imagine that? Like if DFK connected with Binance and that was the next chain, like we dropped the Bazaar there first, which was kind of like toe in the water because the team likes doing that kind of. They don't go all at once; they go in stages, prep for it, then boom, they drop. Right. So what if that would be dope? That would be freaking amazing and a huge connection.
Interesting.
Pure speculation, y'all. We don't know, but I like it. I know BNB was mentioned. It definitely, you're right. But off the top of my head, I can't tell you what was said.
Right.
And then the one other last thing is the Klaytn. They brought up Klaytn and how it's a long-term play. And who knows? Maybe that's their connection into Binance. I mean, Klaytn is South Korean.
Yeah.
South Korean is kind of a foothold over in Asia. I know they've had some impact down in the Philippines as well. So who knows? There might be a Binance connection there. Pure speculation, but that would be dope. And that's pretty much it for the updates, y'all.
Baby, let's go.
Hell yeah.
I love it. Okay. Well, anything else?
No, I think that's it. Y'all should definitely jump into the Mythic Squad if you haven't already.
Baby.
So that way you can get in on that Crystal Kraken. If nothing else, just come this Friday and hang out. We're working on getting it pushed to YouTube. We're not quite there yet, but we're hanging out and I'm sharing my screen and showing you guys Kraken and giving it away. We have a good time. So y'all should just come check it out and hang out, even if you don't want to jump in and get one of the slots just yet.
Yeah. So it's 50 crystal per slot.
Yep.
Okay. And then what time on Friday do you do that?
6:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Grady Standard Time.
Okay.
Which is Central Standard Time for those of y'all who weren't there.
Grady it's Central Grady time.
Central Grady time, my bad.
That's the official sticks and turn, court ruling was to change it to Central Grady time.
I like it.
Yes. I love it. Okay. Well, I'm trying to think of anything else. I was just like blown away with all the new addresses. So
to any of y'all that are out there, please come jump in. If not Mythic Squad, jump in DFK's server. Yeah. Find a community because there's like at least a dozen, if not more, side communities off of DFK, places where you can go and just find a community. Try half a dozen of them out. Find the right fit for you. Find some peeps to just get you. They're on the same level as you and can explain it to you. It might not be the first one you jump into, but go check a few out. Find your home. And start learning because there's a lot of opportunity here. This is the not only DeFi, but crypto project that I'm most excited about in the upcoming bull run.
Let's go.
Destroyer, Nerf Commando kid. He's the new guy. He's that one that's marked purple. So he's kind of recent, doesn't have a lot in, and he got the free slot this week and the next 2 weeks. Maybe we can get him on the stream. If you're under 18, I kind of would be I would prefer to talk to your parents if that's okay, even if it's just via Discord, and let them know and get their approval that you're okay to come on the stream, bro. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to have them on the stream, even if camera's off. Just say hey and ask us a question or two, right? Maybe they can pull their friends or community, everybody they know, or come up with their biggest curiosity question they want answered. And we'll answer for them live on stream with them there or something like that.
Let's go. I love it. Let's go, baby. Mythic Squad has been hard at it still. They're so steady, Freddy, like podcast. All the Mythic Squad guys they're always summoning and doing Mythic Squad things, hatching eggs.
True story.
They're just, it's like
True story. By the way, who's got 1,900 eggs? That's got to be like Mosh or something with all of those eggs. I am curious. If y'all know, drop it in chat right now because I want to know who that is. That's massive kudos to you. Like that person's gonna make out like a bandit, no doubt.
So
hopefully it's not a bot account.
What's going on with that? Did somebody buy up a bunch of eggs?
I saw the spreadsheet for the airdrop for like the pet food coming up. That whole justification potentially for why there's
somebody
few addresses because somebody's like spreading out their eggs.
Somebody hatched 1,900 eggs. Is that what that means?
They hatched or have them, I think. I'm not sure if they necessarily have hatched them. They might just own them and been collecting them.
They hatched them. That's what it is. Whoa, I bet that's Mosh or somebody like that.
I would be surprised. That or maybe like Mythic Squad's community fund or something like that.
I might have hatched close to 500.
You're probably on there, bro. I bet you got some free treats coming.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Is there again the team giving stuff away for free? I love that about the team. Like they're good to go on their runway and they're just building happily, innovating, making new awesomeness for us, and just giving the game away to us as it comes out and allowing us in the ecosystem to profit from it as well through community building and community engagement and just having a good time.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yep.
That and Hourglass, yo. Y'all are not paying attention to Hourglass.
That's
right. Want to be just saying not financial advice. Alpha, do your own research. The community is Hourglass. The token is Wait. WAIT. $ wait, y'all. Like, what is? I want to hear that. Alpha. What is it? Alpha something.
Alpha District. You want to hear about Alpha District?
Yes. I want to hear about Alpha District.
What caused you earlier? You mentioned this earlier. Something caused you to want to talk about Wait earlier, wasn't it?
The next crypto gem they're involved in. They're involved in Alpha District. It's a community that seems like it's making a lot of really cool moves. And they just seem like cool peeps on like the Twitter space. When I've run into them in other like social media outlets, like it just seems like a quality group of people that has their head on right and they're making some solid moves that are going to connect to the next version of the interwebs, like 4.0.
Oh my gosh. So I've been talking a lot to Jet lately here.
Nice.
Like I can't keep up with everything going on. It's everything that's going on right now. And holy smokes of what is to come for the Wait token, the Hourglass, Wait project, the next crypto gym, of course, we've been excited about, but there's this incubation program, all of these new projects coming out. Wait, the exclusive token in those projects. So this new game coming out called Alpha District. Okay. And it's developed by studs. Like guys, the same guys that develop all kinds of games, big time games, Star Wars. And I met this guy. Nice. I had a video conference call with him when I was with Jet. And I've chatted with him as well. The guy who's behind this Alpha District game. Okay. And it's coming out. Like, I don't think the game's coming out till like April of next year. So they're not trying to do a whole bunch of marketing, but they are trying to start the awareness campaign going.
Right. Build the marketing. Let people know. I've seen some great trailers of the game. Go ahead.
Yes. First class freaking game. Okay. So Wait, like you see down here, Hourglass is in here. Like Hourglass is up here. Okay. And it's the primary token of the game. And this game is going to be freaking awesome.
Hells yes.
Really awesome. So
there's a lifer. That's Jet on the left.
Jet got on with Crypto Lifer. He's connecting with Crypto Lifer. He's connecting with like out even beyond. So
I like Sam.
Getting to know Brian D. Evans.
Love it.
Look out. Okay, but then on top of Brian D. Evans, George, Leia, BitBoy, okay, that we already know that are like all in, okay, on the project. Just those is a lot to say. But he's also connecting with Benjamin Cohen. He's connecting with Crypto Banter. and Miles and Hustlepedia, baby. Johnny
Networking in a world that revolves around networking. I love it. Making the connections, cross-pollinating on a personal level while people are cross-pollinating on the tech.
That's right.
Mad kudos.
That's right. And the heart, as like with Brian D. Evans and these guys, the heart of these guys is to just be good dudes and spread the love and help to help exposure for these projects, right? That people don't know about. And so, man, Alpha District, we got big time partnerships coming. That's going to be big. Alpha District is going to be a big monster, amazing game, I think. Okay.
Watch some of those videos, y'all.
Oh my gosh. Just
by the way, if we could pause it real quick.
Okay.
I know that I saw Diamond Hands 369. I'm going to know the skills he has. If there's other people out there that are good with video skills and want to like take some of Grady's videos, like the 1 hour long form content like this, and chop it up into like 2 or 3, like 2 to 3 minute or 2 to 5 minute shorts. That is something that could grossly, hugely help your channel, Grady. Not just saying for this video, like for all the videos you do. It's a great way to get even more engaged and get that content out there, get people like going from that short form content onto the long form content. I love it. I love what you're doing with your channel, bro. I love all the connections you're making, all the networking you're making. You are fucking huge, and I love you, bro. I love what you've done to, for, and with the DeFi Kingdoms community.
Man, it's so fun. All these shorts that you see here, by the way, are because of Crypto Kong. Crypto Kong is like a lifesaver for me.
Give that man a shout out more.
I'll tell you what,
great.
He like is my therapist on top of that for my mental head caseness.
Love it.
And so, I mean, he'll even put out videos here. I think sometimes, maybe not there, regular videos, but all these shorts, he's always popping these out, man.
Love it. Heck yeah.
The last one he did was us. I love it.
Nice. Good stuff. Well, hey, I got to jump off.
Okay. Me too.
But it was amazing getting on with you, brother. I can't wait till next week. I look forward to like Thursday is like one of my favorite days of the week because you get the AMA early on. Then I kind of have a good afternoon. I'm all amped up after that AMA with the team and the team updates. And then we have this show, and it's like, bro, Thursday is like undoubtedly the best day of my week. Appreciate you. Mad love.
Dude,
both you and the community.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Okay. We'll keep up the good work. Everybody, we'll see Ogre tomorrow in the Mythic Squad, Mythic Mayhem. Love it.
Yes. Come crack some eggs with us. Get some of those heroes. Maybe one can be yours. Are you going to get your next Mythic?
Let's do it. Let's go live on Dragon's Crossing. Coming right up. Okay. Love you guys. Ogre and Crypto Grady out. Baby. Yes. Andrew, I miss you. Baby. Love you.